Okay, hi Isaac. How are you doing?
Hello, good evening, Pastor Surekha. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Church Foursquare family.
So lovely to have you, Isaac. And you went through the 4 to 5 week training with me on planting micro churches. And would you just share briefly with everyone uh, from that point onwards, how you went about starting your micro church and where you have ended up now?
Okay, so um, then the first question that I'm answering is the one about how do we start the micro church. So what I did was I was already at University of Nottingham. I'm in my third year now, so between first year and second year, I started a sort of house fellowship before I got the micro church training. And when after I got the micro church training, I sent a text to some of the people in the fellowship, and I just posted a general sort of poll or slash questionnaire on my social media, asking people who were interested in being part of the micro church to just message me, and I just made a group full of all the people that had replied to that poll, that questionnaire. And since then, what I've done is obviously we've had lockdown, we've had restrictions here and there. So it's something that I think I've already spoken to Pastor Femi and Pastor Surekha about how difficult it can be, how challenging it can be to organize it and manage it on your own. Because in in the group of or the team of the youth that got trained to do the micro church planting, some of us stepped out in pairs and some of us stepped out on our own. I'm one of the people that stepped out on their own. So it's a bit hard to manage. And we've had in-person meetups. We congregate once a week, and every week we'll either go over the same discipleship content. So we have the 8 week discipleship ministry tools that Pastor Surekha has given us. So we've spread that over the course of um, the few weeks or 2 or 3 months that the microchurch has been about so far. We meet in person, go on outings, do things like bowling, um, and go for dinners or meals. We have also plans to do like worship nights, and as well as that, we also have once a month, each member of the micro church will lead and speak on a topic of their choice. So those are the kind of things that we do in the micro church.
That's
And
excellent.
the main focus is discipleship, like Pastor Sharika has been saying. So yeah.
Yeah, discipleship, multiplication, out of the relationship. And so, we're looking now to say, okay, how, I think you have a problem because you don't have leaders to release in such a short time.
The micro church surprisingly grew faster than I anticipated, and so we part of the training was we discussed strategy when it's time to you know to expand the micro church to then sort of split and send groups out again to go and plant more churches. We reached that number before the time, so I was talking to Pastor Sharika last week about how do I handle this situation where you plan for something to come up maybe in 2 to 3 months time, but it's come up way before. How do I adjust? What do I do? All of these sorts of things. But I think that's natural. My first time doing it, and I feel that's gonna happen when you're doing discipleship. It's sort of as you're going along, you're learning as well
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
That's great stuff, Isaac. Thanks for coming on. Just imagine, again, as leaders, if we begin to raise up young people like this and we begin to equip them, empower them, and really trust them and say, we are behind you. And, they're going to help our churches get more effective. And, we are going to be moving much, much more faster. And so, with that, I